Jack Doohan is very likely to be under immense pressure from day one, and even though he only has one race under his belt, Briatore has decided to see whether he is truly a diamond that needs to be put in a special environment to see if he holds any potential to have that seat. While this decision has been dubbed to be controversial at the very least, there has been a leak stating that Doohan's contract with Alpine has been limited to a couple of races only. If this is the realistic scenario, then when can we expect the replacement to come, and if so, who will sit next to Gasly in the middle of 2025? Alpine has managed to turn their fortunes around in the ending stages of 2024, and from a back marker, thanks to two amazing races in Brazil and Qatar, the team managed to climb to P6 and gather around $30 million more in prize money. This was more than necessary for them to make sure that the engineers' working resources and the facilities are going to be upgraded, but there is now a situation regarding the drivers' lineup. Gasly is the driver who we are very likely to see remain in the team for a long period of time, but on the other hand, Doohan, one of the many rookies who are set to debut next year, is under immense pressure to deliver from day one. A report from an Argentinian outlet, Ole, states that Doohan will have only 6 races to prove himself in Alpine. And before you go ahead with the biased comments regarding the nature of the source, given the fact that the obvious replacement is Colapinto, we'd like to remind you of one thing: Alpine has allowed Doohan to race in 2024 during the Abu Dhabi finale. They were under threat of losing the 6th place in the Constructors' Championship, and they had no business risking such a thing, but nevertheless they did, which shows that they already want to see what he is made of. And reports state that the team believes there is still tons of improvement to be made in the Aussies' driving style. On top of that, the report states that a contract has already been signed with Colapinto regarding the 2025 season, and that if certain circumstances arise with some of the drivers from Alpine, then Franco will be ready to buckle up and replace whoever is underperforming in Alpine. Briatore has been quite harsh when it comes to reconstructing Alpine and said that he doesn't care what the other people think of him. He is there for a reason and he tends to accomplish it to the fullest. And unfortunately, the driver who has found himself under pressure from day one is Doohan, which is almost always bad news, as you tend to give a bit of wiggling room to the rookie that doesn't have F1 experience in order to accommodate himself to the conditions of the team. Of course, to expect that he will have a Hamilton-like rookie season with one of the worst squads on the grid is definitely a far-fetched scenario, but being close to Gasly and scoring points is definitely the goal for Jack. This is something that the special advisor Briatore has spoken about, stating that nobody is certain in Alpine in terms of the drivers' lineup, and this matter will be discussed openly throughout the season. The entire team is going under heavy reconstruction, with some massive steps being made regarding the engine and gearbox supplier, but nothing bodes as great as the future of Doohan. When talking about it, Briatore said, "Yes, I have held negotiations with Colapinto over an F1 2025 seat last year. I am always looking for the best opportunities for the team. The only thing we can be sure of is death. We'll start the year with Pierre and Jack, I can guarantee that. After that, we will see as the season progresses. I have to get the team in the right condition to get results, and the driver is the one who has to conclude the work of nearly 1,000 people behind him. Everyone works for just 2 people. If there is a driver who isn't making progress, who isn't bringing me results, then I will change him. You can't be emotional in Formula 1. I am interested in any driver who is fast. If there was an opportunity to get Colapinto for 2026, you have to think about it." And there you go, the cruel world of Formula 1 strikes again. Doohan hasn't even gotten the chance to drive a race with proper preparations, and he is already being considered to be replaced for 2025. Rumours will always be rumours, but if you consider the fact that his father has spoken to the local media and said that he knows everything about 2025, you can't ignore the fact that the French team is already looking towards an early replacement for him, and it will be merciless if his first 6 races are not going to turn out well. Franco's father, Annibal, has been pictured raising a glass with a group of friends while wearing a Williams t-shirt, and in the accompanying caption he said, there are few of us who know everything about F1 in 2025. The post has been deleted since, so it's not available on social media anymore, and this could likely be brought about because of the fact that both Alpine and Williams didn't want to reveal too much too early and be just plain cruel towards Doohan. When you look at it from this perspective, the debut of the Aussie has been the least hyped up one, maybe because of the situation that Alpine found itself in, but be that as it may, there is never an excuse for bullying a driver into something that has the potential to ruin his Formula One career. He is Alpine's protege, and we've seen how they've dealt with Alonso and Piastri in the past, so Doohan could be another case as to how you can lose a driver by not trusting him enough or not giving him enough space to grow. To top the pressure off, Briatore has also signed Mercedes Academy driver Paul Aron to his team, which might be part of their engine and gearbox deal that should see Alpine compete for higher points finishes in 2025. All of this goes to show that Formula One is, of course, purely a business, and if you don't bring any financial value to the table, then you'd have to be exceptionally fast in order to keep your head above water. When talking about Paul Aron, Briatore was full of praise about the type of talent they were able to sign as their reserve driver, further stating, "We are very pleased to have Paul join BWT Alpine Formula One team as our own 2025 reserve driver. There is a generational shift in Formula One at the moment, as we see with many young drivers coming into the sport and making an impact. We believe Paul is one of the best talents, and we look forward to developing him into an F1 driver." Furthermore, Briatore is adamant that the 2026 approach is the best one that the French team could have picked, because they are going to race with one of the best, if not the best, engines and gearboxes on the grid. And when talking about being brought to Alpine to set the sun down, he denied all of these allegations, further stating, "The French want to win. We won't win with our engine. It's as simple as that. If we want to win, we have to give up the areas in which we are not competitive. McLaren becomes world champion with a Mercedes engine. How many times have you read or heard that McLaren Mercedes has become world champion? I never have. Haas is Haas and not Haas Ferrari." There we have it. Doohan might have the hottest seat in his home race in Australia in March later this year, and whether we like it or not, it's definitely going to pay its dividends regarding the performance of his second ever Formula One race. However, Jack has all of the motivation in the world to prove that he is the future of the team and turn the fortunes in his favour, because facts remain facts, and the 2024 facts state that Colapinto was the driver causing the most damage to his team in only 9 races driven, around $5 million. Yes, he might be fast, but he is also very reckless, and for a team that is looking to rebuild from scratch and who is looking to invest in resources, facilities and upgrade parts rather than repairment causes. With all this in mind, do you think that Alpine are being a tad too harsh on Doohan before his career has even started? And even more importantly, do you think that they are going to replace him with Franco Colapinto once the 2025 season kicks in, and maybe if Jack hadn't met the criteria? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're interested in Newey's latest bombshell received by Red Bull, make sure to check out the video that's appearing on your screen right now.